Any response, Tim?
You bring that energy, man. I want that energy coming into the fight because when I do, and mark my words, I will knock you out in under 12 rounds.
You can try, my man. You can try, but you're going to get more than energy. You're going to get these hands, baby, all up in your face. Damn!
You're going to be running. You're going to be running, and I'm going to be catching you like a little gazelle.
Your fat feet slow. Man, look, in Australia, that's a small little, that's an island very far away. I did not know flat-footed Mexicans were born in Australia, Zoo.
What the hell did you just say?
You wait.
Mexican Zoo, what you gonna do?
I got a Mexican style.
Mexican Zoo, what you gonna do?
I got a Mexican style, but Mexican styles are one of the greatest styles in the world, so don't be disrespecting Mexican styles.
I ain't lost to no Mexican. Do your research. Watch more tape.
Don't be running.
Watch more tape if you want to debate.
Don't be running.
I have not lost to no flat-footed, slow
Don't be running
Mexicans,
like,
okay?
Don't be running like a gazelle.
You just want me to stand there?
Don't be
Please
running.
do. Please let me beat you up, Keith.
Let's go.
Please let me beat you up.
Middle of
Can
the
I
ring.
punch you in the face?
Okay, middle of the
Can
ring.
I punch you? Please.
Middle of the ring.
I'll be
go.
right there, baby. I'll be right
Okay,
there.
deal.
I won't be hard to find.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Hey man, Keith Thurman a funny guy. Now with that being said, the fight in hand. First of all, let me say this. I'm a little surprised that they're that close in size. He's a little taller than Keith. I mean, I don't know what kind of shoes they have on, but he looks like he's a little taller than Keith. And I'll say he might be a little bigger than Keith, but the size differential isn't what I thought it would be. I really did think he would dwarf Keith, especially in like width. I thought he would be not just taller, but I thought he would be a much bigger guy. Something that I did overlook, something that I did kind of disregard or put in the back of my head, Keith Thurman did start his career at 154. So technically you can't say, oh, he's a small welterweight, etc. Not really. Now, the question is, really, that most people have about Keith Thurman is what does he have left? Is he going to be coming in there with injuries? Is he going to be coming in there slow? I mean, like, we really don't know what we're getting out of Keith Thurman. I mean, that's part of the drawback, and it's kind of one of the things that's intriguing about the match, because you can have someone saying, man, Keith is going to get killed because Keith is old, or he's gotten old, he's been injured over the last 5 or 6 years, etc., etc. Then you can have some that might turn around and say, well, yeah, but at the same time, all of those injuries that he suffered, he had time for that stuff to heal up. He had time to come in refreshed, and some of the biggest upsets we've seen in boxing have come off of long layoffs. And one that comes to mind is Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvin Hagler. I think Sugar Ray had came off a 3-year layoff, and his matter of fact, that's probably the best historical fight that we can actually relate this to. When Sugar Ray Leonard came back and fought Marvin Hagler, he had only had like one other fight like in the last 4 or 5 years, and that was with Kevin Howard, if I'm not mistaken.
Kevin Howard. And I really believe that Sugar Ray Leonard right now thinks he can take him at any time, and a right hand.
Sugar Ray had been on the shelf for years commentating. So now some people go say, well, you know, Keith Thurman ain't no Sugar Ray Leonard. We really don't know that. Cause let's be honest, before all the injuries and stuff, don't act like Keith Thurman wasn't the man at welterweight. And nobody thought Ray Leonard was going to go in there and beat Marvin Hagler. Everybody thought he was crazy. And that added to his legacy, that and the stuff that happened beyond him beating Hagler. Thurman's story is not finished yet. I think we be kind of underselling what Keith Thurman was. He wasn't just a good welterweight. He was the next guy up. Let's be honest. He was the next guy up behind Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. He was the guy that was probably threatening them the most. And we saw it in the Pacquiao fight. And let's be honest, Manny caught Keith in a similar situation is what we're talking about now. Long layoff, one fight in the last couple years, etc., and he was coming into the fight injured. But as Keith said, if he wouldn't have took the fight then, it wasn't gonna be no Pacquiao fight. So, and he had a great performance in my opinion, especially in the second half, outside that round 10 when he caught that body shot. And speaking of body shots, ultimately I think that's probably what's gonna do Keith in when the Australian catches up with him and plant one of the body shots to him. I don't know if that's gonna be what stops him, but I think ultimately that's what's gonna get him in trouble. He gonna catch one of the body shots, and he gonna slow him down and start getting him on the ropes and go pound him out. But I do think the fight will be exciting early in the fight, but I do believe Tim Tszyu will eventually catch up to him, because I don't think Keith is gonna stand there in front of him. He's gonna move. Now, as long as Keith can move and score, hit and score, then maybe he has a chance early. The longer the fight goes, the more I think it's an advantage Tim Tszyu. Because, hey man, this dude, he has a knack of being able to catch up with people. He doesn't look that fast, but his timing seems to be pretty good. Now, I'll be honest. I don't know what we got in that Tony Harrison fight, because I'm not sure who showed up into that fight. Tony Harrison definitely looked old and washed in that fight. But I thought Harrison would be able to move around, box him and give him angles and stuff like that would throw him off. And we did not see that happen. So based off of that, I think Keith is in trouble. But I do think Keith in the past had the legs to be able to keep him away from him. Maybe not all night, but to avoid a lot of shots. And that's really what it's going to come down to. Can Keith, number one, hit hard enough to keep him honest? And number two, use his legs enough to keep from having to make it a firefight. And that's, to me, that's going to be the biggest component of what's going to decide who wins the fight. Can Keith keep him off of him either by punching him and keeping him honest, or number two, by using his legs? If he gets trapped and it turns into a firefight, I'm sorry, you the smaller guy, you'll be in trouble. And that'll be it. And that's pretty much all I got. This Head Busting Box's own Fight Doctor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Does Keith Thurman have a chance against Tim Tszyu? Have we been underestimating Keith Thurman based off of his injured history? Can Keith do what some of the greats of the past have done? The Sugar Ray Leonards of the world come out of, well, I ain't gonna say retirement, but you might as well say he was retired. The dude ain't fought but like once in like 7 years, twice in 10, something like that. That's what it feels like. Can Keith pull off the upset? I say no. But tell me what you think. Hit me up in the comment section. This is Head Busting Box's whole Fight Doctor. I am out.